I designed a brand new line of batik fabrics. I can't wait to share them with you. Hi, it's Fran Morgan with Fabric Café. I love batik fabrics, and this year I got to do something very special. I designed my own line of batiks. It's called Bold in Bloom. There are 24 different fabrics in the collection. Let me give you a quick tour. Now, one of my very favorite colorways and prints is this one right here. I love the big flowers with the little swirly in the middle, and there's so much color and movement in the background. Now, this same print is also in 3 other colorways. The gorgeous green background, the wonderful royal purple and blue, and then one that's just the turquoise and the white. The next print is this one. This one actually has a gradient background where it goes from teals to purples, and then it has all these wavy lines with swirls, like there's movement or there's water flowing. I really like that. This one comes in 2 other colorways, a really beautiful green with the blue background, and then look at this yummy royal purple with the turquoise. So good. Then we have this really fun one. I like these big ovals that look like they're just kind of moving around, almost like they're bubbles floating on the surface. Now this one also comes with a white background with the greens and the blues, and the great rich blue and purple background with the white. The next print, we have like a square kind of zigzaggedy here with the smaller flower with the circle. So this is picking up the element from the larger flower that we looked at earlier, and then it picks up an element from another print that I'm going to show you in a minute. Now this one has 4 colorways, the one I'm showing you, as well as 3 others. Okay, now one that I used over and over again in samples is our fun dot here. This is a turquoise background, but the dots are all different colors. We have oranges and pinks and reds and the lime greens, and they go into yellows and oranges. So the color of the dots changes across the surface, and the blue background just stays rich and yummy. Now this particular print comes in lots of different variations here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So these are going to be perfect for smaller little bits, for putting in position 3. This is going to be used so much. Now our very last one, but of course still absolutely gorgeous, is this little zigzag print. This is really a lot of fun, and I find that this print adds so much texture to your quilts, which is really what I like. This particular one is this really gorgeous royal blue background with a nice bright green on the surface. It really pops well, good contrast. Love this. This comes in 4 colorways, our pink and purple, our green and pink, and then our purple and white. There are so many different fun colorways in this. We even have a brand new pattern. So let's jump in and look at the first quilt we've made. Now this is the Forget Me Not quilt, and it's so bright and fun and happy. I love that we have our flower here made, and this is so simple to make. All we have is a square fabric with some stitch and flip on 3 of the corners to make the little petals. It's so cute. Fun little quick strip assembly for the very center. Then we've alternated this block with another one. We have our focus fabric, which is this really fun bright green with a little bit of our number 3 right here that picks up our flower. I really like these blocks because this block uses all 3 colors and this block uses all 3 colors. So it distributes the color in the fabric really well across the surface. Another thing this quilt has is because there's just a straight seaming, it can make it really big. So this quilt measures at 39 by 57 inches, which is a really nice size. I love how happy this is. Let's get it on the table. Now, I just love the fabrics that we put in the Forget Me Not pattern, and I think it works so well. We've actually put our lime green as our focus fabric, and you can see here that it's borders all of our alternate blocks as well as our 4 patch here in the middle. Then we have just a little peekaboo right in the center of our flower. And this fabric is great. It's all of these little wiggly circles, bubbles floating across the surface. of a beautiful green background. I love the dark veining in this that is very typical of batik, so it gives us all of that texture in the background with just a little bit of whimsy with all these bubbles on the surface. In our number 2 position, a nice white so that our flowers really pop off the surface. That was really important for the contrast here. So you can see how here's our number 3 fabric, here's our number 1, and here is our background white. And I really think that it works perfectly in this because our focus fabric frames it on all sides. And I really think it gives us a great background for our flower. So for our flower, one of my favorite prints in the collection are these little wiggly dots, these little pebbles, bubbles, whatever we want to say, on this gorgeous background that has pinks and oranges and yellows. I really like that. And then all of our little pebbles are in the blues and the greens. I think it just adds so much fun and contrast within the fabric itself. And it's the perfect fabric for our flower petals here. You can see all of those gorgeous colors. And then we have a little bit in our alternate block here and some on the binding. So it pulls it all together. I think it is really a nice colorway and it works perfectly. Now this kit is called Citrus Splash, and this is the Forget Me Not pattern from the Make It Home with 3 Yard Quilts book. This is Regency, and I really, really like this pattern. What's really cool about it is it's a 1-block quilt. Now this is also from the Make It Home book. Now it measures 41 by 53. Now the amount of interest that this creates whenever you combine the 1 blocks together is very cool, because this right here is the corner of your block, and this is going to come together to create these little diamonds, which is super. I love the way it does that, and it kind of makes it look like a border block that's made in a different way, much harder than it is, and it's not. Love the colors in this. We have our beautiful jade greens and purples with our greens. I think it all comes together beautifully. Let's go check out the gorgeous fabric we've used. So we're using one of our directional fabrics in this kit for Regency. And what I think is very interesting about this area here, our focus fabric, can use a directional fabric, but we've also used a little bit of a directional in our number 3. So let's step through the fabric so that I can show you. Now for our focus fabric, I have used this gorgeous coloring of these wavy lines with all the little spirals dropped in. I love how this goes to the jade greens, into the navies, and into the purples on the background. And then the little wavy lines are that brilliant kind of jade green color, which, I love a stripe, so I wanted to include something in the collection that has a little bit of a stripe. This is my version of a stripe for this collection. Being our focus fabric, it's going to go right in the center here, and then we do have a little bit on the corner of the block here. Now we have paired it with a nice warm cream, kind of a solid here. Now this is our number 2 fabric. This is what we're using for it to fall in the background so that the piecing of your quilt really pops off. And I like the way it contrasts super well. Now for our number 3 fabric, remember I said that it's like the same print. We have it in different green here. It's a little bit more of a yellow green with a blue swirl on it. And this will be our number 3. Now the reason why this works so well in this pattern is it's going to be in all these little sections right here on your block. And those blocks and the way it's made, it's going to turn the right way. It gives some neat, subtle texture in this area. Then we're doing our half square triangles right here that come together. Now these will turn for you in just the right way, so it adds just the right interest. I really, really like this fabric. We've got a little bit of this on the border too, so you can see that very subtle stripe on the border. And because there's not just extreme contrast in our number 3 fabric, it works as a solid in this case, which I think is perfect. All right. Now, did you know that batiks are definitely an art form? They are made in the most fascinating way. And if you're interested to see how batiks are made and all of the work that goes into them, then be sure to check out the video that we have in our description. Now the kit information on this is Emerald Currents, and it is the Regency pattern from Make It Home with 3 Yard Quilts. Now this quilt is countryside and it is a really fun one to make. I really love that we have a big block here with our focus fabric in the center. Anytime that you have a focus block that is bordered with your number 3, I think it's great because it separates the block. It gives each block its day to shine, which I love. Now countryside measures 38 by 56, so it's a really nice size. And like I said, fun to put together with these great colors. Now I'm going to give you a little insider tip here. I actually made this quilt and I put the blocks in the wrong places. The pattern actually calls for the star block to go in this upper corner here and then the square, but I got it backwards, and you know what? It's okay. I still think it looks absolutely amazing, and those little things like that, you just roll with them. So let's get this one on the table and check out this fun, gorgeous fabric. Now for our countryside pattern, I used, once again, some of my favorite prints from the collection. You know, when you have a big collection like this, you've got a lot of favorites. So I really love the focus fabric here. I thought this was so much fun, and I think it's just so crisp and fresh. And I have a nice warm background with all of our big little bubbles up here, and they change colors from greens to blue. So as you can see, some of them are half blue and half green, some are all green. It's really kind of a neat effect that the Batik creates on the design of this. Now this is a bigger print, and we've put it in our larger block here, right in the center. I really love it here. I think it's the perfect scale for this. Then we've paired it once again with a nice warm white. So this is our background of our star block here, so that our number 3 fabric really pops off. Then for our number 3, just to add a little bit of interest to our stars, we've used our turquoise. Now this turquoise is the same turquoise blue that's in our focus fabric, so it really coordinates well. You can see it right here. And what I like about this is the color variance in our little dots here. I like that they go from the orange and the greens and the yellow, so that it's really got a lot of movement to it. And it's the perfect scale for our stars here. I think these really pop off well, and I really, really like the way these go together. Now what's really cool is we've also bordered our main block with it, so that these 2 prints are next to each other, so you can see how beautifully they coordinate. All right, the information on this kit is called Bubble Dance, and it is our countryside pattern from Make It Home. Now this is the hip hop quilt. You know, you can't say that without just doing a little bit of hip hop. Now this is a 5-yard quilt, and I love that it showcases all 5 fabrics so beautifully. And you know, when it's a 5-yard, it also means it's bigger. This one is 52.5 by 74.5, which is a great size. Now this quilt is so cool because it's actually a 1-block quilt made in 2 colorways. We've just rotated our blocks around, which means no directional fabric, but this is a great one for it. And we've used a stitch and flip on the corners. Now what's great about stitch and flip in this particular quilt is these stitch and flip corners don't have to match anything else. So it's not like you're creating a diamond or anything like that. So it's a really good quilt for a beginner to try stitch and flip. If you've never done it, this is the great one to use. Now, nice big blocks here, so you're going to be able to showcase some gorgeous fabric like we've done here in our pinks and purples and blues. And I just love all these energetic shapes on this fabric. Let's get this one on the table and check it out. So we have chosen our pink and kind of blue and purple big circles for our focus fabric here. Good scale for our block, really like it. You can see that here, and you can see how well it fits in that block. I think it's perfect. Now for our number 2, we have gone with kind of a really light jade green. And this is going to fall to our background, like you know our number 2 fabric always does. And that does border our focus fabric on this block here. Now, I'm going to just interject real quick. This is actually a 1-block quilt. It's just that they're done in 2 different colorways. So our first colorway is with our focus fabric, our 2 and our 3, and then I will show you the next colorway. Okay, so then we have our number 3 fabric, which is this great dark royal with the turquoise kind of sprinkled throughout it. I really like this one as a number 3 because it doesn't have quite the contrast in it because it's all blue. And as you can see here, we've used it in our stitch and flip triangles as well as a little on the border. Okay, now we're going to get to our fabric number 4. And our fabric number 4 in a 5-yard quilt acts as a secondary focus fabric. And as I mentioned a moment ago, this is like a 1-block quilt, but it's done in 2 colorways. For our number 4 fabric, we're putting it in our alternate block, which is right here, and it's acting as our second focus. And as you can see, this is not directional, neither is any of our other fabrics. Because these get turned, it's going to work perfectly. And I love how this design with the little back and forth squigglies with our pinks and our purple matches our circles so well. It really adds a lot of cohesion to the quilt. So for our number 5 fabric, we have put it with our number 4, and this is our alternate block in our second colorway, and we've just bordered the block here with that color. Now this one is just a little bit brighter jade green, but it still falls to the background, and I think it works really well with our number 2 right next door. It's a little bit different colorway than what we've shown because it's got the pinks and the blues and the purples with those light jade greens in the background. I think it's really fun and very suitable with the name hip hop for this pattern. All right, let me get you the kit information. It is called Twist and Turn, and this pattern is from Step It Up with 5-Yard Quilts. Now this quilt is simple steps, and it's a fat quarter quilt. We used 12 fat quarters to put this together, which, you know, 12 fat quarters equals 3 yards of fabric. I love the way it can showcase all of these gorgeous fabrics. I love all the blues and greens and purples and turquoises together. It just is so fun and soothing to me. I just love it. Now this is a nice size block so you can showcase all of those fabrics. And it's a nice size quilt. It is 46.5 by 62.5. And I really love the way that the pattern creates this fun stair step pattern here. And it helps to separate the colors just perfectly. So let's get it on the tables and check out these gorgeous fabrics. Since the line is so huge, we have broken it up into fat quarters with 2 different kits based on color family. Now this version that I have right here, this is our cool tones. So like we have the blues with the greens here, a little green, and then they go to the more blues and purples. Here's another little pop of green. And then we've also included our purples with our pink, which is just so, so pretty. Now we have an image on the screen for you with our Simple Steps pattern made with this fat quarter bundle. And as you can see, it works really, really well. I love the way that we use our blue and pink versions to do the little stair step down. And then we've got our greens and some of our others in those big blocks. I think it just works so well. And look at our first border on that. I think that that bright green around the edge just sets it all apart and really helps distinguish it. I think it's perfect. So this kit is called Lush Lagoon, and it is our Simple Steps pattern from the Fat Quarter Quilting Fun. Now this next bundle of fat quarters that we're going to show you are the more brighter fat quarters in the collection. And I really like these because we have still some of the greens. They're more of the jade greens here, but we also have the lighter blues, and then we have our oranges and our pinks, and then we have this great green with all the oranges and pinks on it. Then our turquoise with our white background. And as you can see, it works equally as well. In fact, it's really hard for me to choose which one I like most because I really love the border, the outside border on this with that great multicolored print. I love the pinks and the yellows there. And that stair step, we used our other green there, that jade green, and I think it works so, so well in this position. And then you've got that multicolored flower. I think it just came together beautifully. Now, if you want a fast and easy way to see everything we're offering with these batiks, then click on the Bold in Bloom collection tab on our website. You'll find all the kits, the fat quarters, by the yard, everything all in one place. Now let me get you the kit information on this. It is called Tropical Sunset. This is our Simple Steps pattern. Now this pattern is called Bold in Bloom, and it was designed especially to highlight the fabric collection Bold in Bloom. Now it's a little bit different than our other patterns in the fact that it's not a 3-yard quilt. What we have to make this quilt is 12 fat quarters And the fat quarters are all featured in these fun pinwheels right here, as well as the center little stitch and flip, which is so much fun. And then we have some on the border. We have our purple and pinks here and our greens and purples on the borders. Those are all the fat quarters. For the background, we've put our fat quarters on a nice crisp white so they really pop off, and you'll need 1.5 yards of this background fabric. We've chosen the white and we love it. Now this quilt is 46 inches by 59 inches, and really it's super fast to make. These are nice size half square triangles, so they're gonna go really fast, and there's really not too many to make. And this center little part here is made with a stitch and flip right on the corner of that half square triangle. So those are gonna go really fast too. Really love this new pattern. Can't wait to talk more about it. Let's get it on the table. Now we're doing something special with this pattern. We want you to be able to make it just like you see here. So we're offering a kit that includes the yardage and the fat quarters you need to make this. We split up the fat quarters again so that those cools are in one package and the brights are in another package. Here we have our cools, which you know are our blues and greens and purples with that little touch of pink. And then we have our background, which is a nice white that really helps our pinwheels pop off the surface like they're levitating and spinning. And I really love it. It is so much fun. All right, the kit info on this is Texture Twist, and it's the Bold and Bloom pattern. Now we're also offering this special kit with the bright fat quarters. Now we're using the same soft white batik that we used in the cool version as our background here. But then we have all of our fun brights here, which I love because we have these really bright oranges, the turquoises, the bright greens, and the jade greens here. So, so pretty. It is so cute. I love it. The way that we have our circles on that secondary border there, and then it's all framed in with our nice jade greens. And all those bright pops of color spinning across the surface. So, so much fun. Really like it. So the kit info on this is Carnival Spin, and it is our Bold and Bloom pattern. We have even more fun ways that you can get this fabric. All of the fabrics will be available by the yard. If you are wanting to get a sampling of the fabrics in the line, we are offering 2 1-yard bundles. Each bundle has 12 1-yard cuts. We've sorted them into those brights and the cool colorways that we were looking at earlier. This was such a fun adventure for me to design batiks, and I'm so excited that I finally get to share them with you. If you would like some tips on how to work with batik fabrics, then be sure to watch the video that pops up. Happy quilting!